Hi everyone, welcome to the video on the first half of Abogi Varnam. So in this video we'll just do the Swaram part of the first half, which is the Pallavi, Anupallavi and the Muktai Swaram. I'll post a subsequent video with the Sahityam and then a video on the Charanam. So this is a Varnam by Sri Patnam Subramanya Iyer, who was a famous composer of the past. And Abhogi Varnam, every Bodhana, this is a pretty famous Varnam that you'll get to listen to in concerts, and it's also one of the first few Varnams that students get to learn as they are embarking on the journey with Varnams. So, in this video, we'll just look into the Swaram part of the first half. And a few years back, I made a video exploring the Abogi Ragam itself. So I'll post the link for that. So in that you can get some ideas about how the Ragam goes, and it'll be a learning aid as you learn the Varnam. And we'll look into the Arohanam Avrohanam now and then go into the Swarams. Just a word about the Arohanam Avrohanam itself and what a Varnam means itself. So a lot of times with the Arohanam Avrohanam, what happens is we come to understand the Ragam just solely based on Arohanam Avrohanam. It's like it's just one of the aspects of a Ragam, which shows how the Ragam ascends or descends, but that's not the only description of a Ragam. And that's where Varnams play a huge role in our understanding of the Ragam itself. So if you go to the etymology of the word Varnam, if you go to Sanskrit dictionary and then translate the word Varnam, you'll get many different definitions of the word. Like for example, Varnam is color. Varnam is also categorization, right? So in what sense we call a musical piece or this form of the composition as Varnam is, I understand, is that it's more like color. It's more like different contours of the ragam. So whenever a composer composes or documents something about the ragam, they are coming at that point, whatever understanding they have about the ragam, like the Vishesha Prayogams or what they understand about the ragam and how it is being perceived at that point of time, and they are documenting that and saying, hey, this is how Abogi looks like. Now, is the Varnam exhaustive by any means? No. I mean, it just shows what are some of the possibilities in a ragam, but that does not mean those are the only possibilities. So, and that's where the creative part of Carnatic music lies, right? Like you understand the tradition, but that does not mean that these are the only things that can happen in Abogi. So, but this gives us a clue to what is possible, and so that's why there are some Varnams are more like capsules. They give you like a greater depth and understanding of the ragam in a nutshell. So that's how I like to think about Varnam. So as we are learning the Swaram, we may run into some like unique prayogams or something that shows us, oh my god, look, this is also possible in Abogi. So I'll stop and we can think about that as we learn. So let's get started. I'm going to be singing in the scale in Shruti G sharp. So I don't know if you're learning, you might want to, if you want to sing along like as you learn, so you'll have to turn on G sharp on your end. Okay. So Abhogi is a pentatonic scale, which means it has 5 notes, and it does not have pa. So the Swarasthana are Shadjam, Chatushruti Rishavam, Sadharana Gandharam, Madhyamam, and Chatushruti Dhevat. So the Madhyamam is like, because there is no pa, so the ma has a lot more strength here. So that's like the stable note, which needs a lot of strength, and one has to really focus their voice on the ma. So let's get started. So if you notice, I gave the gamakam, the movement in ga. If you sing it plain, sari ga ma da sa, you can do that. It's not like the plain ga can never come in Abogi, right? Like if the musician feels like improvising that, during a raga alapana, that's totally fine. But I guess the Carnatic flavor of the raga has been, sort of built around that ga gamakam. Sari ga, sari ga, ri ga ma ga ri ga ma ga ri da sa ri ga ri sa. So the intensity of the ga oscillates between it's like a high intensity ga when it goes to ma, but the intensity reduces when it's coming back to re. So these are subtle nuances that we need to observe as we are learning these varnams, and that's where it matters, because you can't, we can't put the ga or any swaram into a box saying this is how it will come. No, it depends on the context. It depends on what sort of a phrase it is, what came before and what came after. So there's a lot of, you can't define this as how it's going to be. So that's why it's important to learn these musical forms, so we understand through every composition that we learn, we understand, okay, this is another possibility for this varnam. Okay, so let's learn the varnam Pallavi. Let's do the first line. I'll first teach, dismantle the line, and then you can, if you have a pencil and a book, you can just mark where it's being divided, and then we'll put it back together with talam. So this is Adi rendu Kalai. Okay, ri ga ga ri sa, ri ga ga ri. So you see two types of ga there. One has a little higher intensity, and the other is different from that. Ri ga ga ri, ri ga ga ri sa, sa ri sa sa da ma da. That sa ri sa sa, you have to do the jante there because it's a pair, right? Sa sa ri ri. So you stress that second note. Ri ga ga ri sa, sa ri sa sa da ma da sa da sa da sa ri ga ma ga ga ri sa. So see, See how many different varieties of ga we are able to see. Re ga ga re sa sa re sa sa da ma da ma da sa da sa. That madasa dasa is a phrase, right? And da sa da da sa da sa re ga ma ga ga re sa. That last ga ga re sa, it's coming from ma. Da sa re ga ma ga ga re sa. That's first line. Let's put everything together. Re ga ga re sa sa re sa sa da ma da sa da sa da sa re ga ma ga ga re sa. Now let's do this with talam. Re ga ga re sa sa re sa sa da ma da sa da sa da sa re ga ma ga ga re sa re ga ga re sa sa re sa sa da ma da sa da sa da sa re ga ma ga ga re sa. Okay. Now let's go to second line of the Pallavi. Re ga ma re ga sa re. See how it's beautifully centered around re. The re has a lot of prominence there, right? Re ga ma re ga sa re. That riga sari, because it's not going to ma, you have to, the intensity of the ga is very less. Riga ma riga sari da sari ga ma. So whenever the ga is going to ma, the intensity is higher. Riga ma riga sari da sari ga ma da ma da sa. See, that's the first time you're ever going to sa, right? So it has to be perfectly on shruti. Da ma da sa sa da sa da ma. Now, if you sing it plain, it's not going to sound bad. Da sa da ma. But if you want more effect, that's where the dasa dama has to be curvaceous. Dasa dama. It's coming from above. Dasa dama. Ga ma ga ri sa. Ga ma ga ri sa. Ri ga ma ri ga sa ri da sa ri ga ma da sa da sa da ma ga ma ga ri sa ri ga ma ri ga sa ri da sa ri ga ma da ma sa. Now let's put this into talam, and we'll then do both the lines together, the first and the second line. Re ga ma ga ma re ga sa re da sa re ga ma da ma da sa sa da sa da ma ga ma ga re sa re ga ga re sa sa re sa sa da ma da sa da sa re ga ma ga ga re sa re ga ma re ga sa re da sa re ga ma da ma da sa sa da sa da ma ga ma ga re sa. Okay, so see how it's not even, I mean, we know the Aronam Aronam is Sarigama Dasa Sada Magarisa, but then the way it's moving, it's not a very linear thing. Like when the composer wrote Re ga ma ga ma re ga sa re, so it's showing how it's not like only ga should come after ma or only re should come after. No, it's, we can't put such the ragam into such boxes. We can't say, oh, that's how it was in Aronam Aronam, so it has to be like that. No, and that's where the Varnam is great, because it shows us like, hey, don't put yourself into a box or the ragam into a box. Like, be open-minded about this, right? So it shows the contours of the ragam, right? How beautiful it is. Ma re ga sa re da re da ma ga re sa re da ma da sa re ga sa re da. So whenever you're learning the Varnam, learn with contemplation, right? Like how is it moving? How are the Swarams being combined here, right? So that's very important when we are engaging with the Varnam. Okay, so now let's go to the third line, which is the Anupallavi. Okay, I have to sing the second line. Re ga ma re ga sa re da sa re ga ma da sa sa da sa da ma ga ma ga re sa 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 da ma. Okay, sa. You can, so a lot of times I've heard like students, like they sing sa sa da ma. I mean, it's still sa sa da ma, but then not everywhere where there is a pair you have to give gente. I mean, that need not be a rule. According to me, I feel sa sa da ma. You're not doing the plain da ma, because the effect, the bhavam is more when you have the oscillation for the da here in this context. Sa sa da ma da ma. You can do the jante there. Sa sa da ma ma ga re ga sa re ga ma. So ma has to be in shruti, period, because that's your stable note. Okay, sa sa da ma ma ga re ga ma did a little nuance there. The ma ga ri ma da ga ri. So that's how the gamakam goes there. Sa sa da da ma da da ma ga ri ga ma ri ga sa ri ga ma ma da ma ga ri ga ma da da sa. There you have to give jante. So there it sounds beautiful. Sa sa da da ma da da ma ga ri ga ma ri ga sa ri ga ma ma da ma ga ri ga ma da da sa. Now let's put this into talam. Sa sa da da ma da da ma ga ri ga ma ri ga sa ri ga ma ma da ma ga ri ga ma da da sa. Sa sa da da ma da da ma ga ri ga ma ri ga sa ri ga ma ma da ma ga ri ga ma da da sa. Okay, so let's move to the fourth line now, which is like the second line of Anupallavi. Da sa ri sa ri da sa ri sa ri ga ma ga ga ri sa. Okay, so this is fully in the upper octave, so you have to do your best. I mean, you don't have to like really do that in a very loud voice, but whatever is natural to you, it can't be an artificial voice in the tarasthai. Da sa ri sa, full throated. Da sa ri sa ri ga ma ga ga ri sa ri sa ri da ri sa. See how curvy it's coming there. Ri ga ri sa ri da ri sa sa da ma. If it's plain, sa da ma, but you want to add a bit more beauty to that. Sa da ma. That's the gamakam. Sa da ma ga ma ga ri sa. Together. Da sa ri sa ri ga ma ga ga ri sa ri da ri sa sa da ma ga ri sa. Sorry, I sang Gama Garisa first, but it's Dama Garisa. Sa da ma ga ri sa da sa ri sa ri ga ma ga ga ri sa ri da ri sa sa da ma ga ri sa. Okay, so we'll sing this with talam and then we'll do the two lines together, the Anupallavi. Da sa ri sa ri ga ma ga ga ri sa ri da ri sa sa So that finishes our Pallavi and Anupallavi. I think because it's already like more than 25 minutes, so I think I'll do the Muktai Swaram in a separate video, but just learn these four lines from this video. So thank you so much for watching.